Hi there, Chris here with another quick tip for you all. In this video we are going to look at creating a soft glow on armor. So for our example here, we're going to be using the Wraith Knight from the Eldar army in 40k. And we're going to duplicate the glow that is on the helmet visor. To get us started, we're going to use some Abaddon Black. This was also used as the base color for the area as well. We'll also be using some Kaldor Sky. We're going to do a quick 2-brush wet blend with the Kaldor Sky being at the lower portions of the visor, simulating sort of like a gemstone effect, if you're familiar with creating gemstone effects on a model. And so we just lay down our Kaldor blue, and then we begin blending in the black. Now there really isn't a whole lot of blue being left behind. It is really quite subtle. The camera doesn't quite pick up all the transitions in the visor, but there are a fair amount. You can see the color transition, and we leave a little thin line of that Kaldor blue at the very base of the visor. And so we're just really quickly just blending in, trying to match them up in through the front there. And again, this is more like a gemstone effect. So we're imagining the light source is coming from the very top of the model, coming straight down and illuminating the bottom portion of that visor. This is really what we're simulating here, so that we're also simulating sort of a transparency as well. And so just to help build up the colors a little bit more, we're going to go through again. And this time the Kaldor blue was also thinned down just slightly with just a bit of water, really. The first time we had blended it, there was no mediums or no water added. It was really just the dampness of the brush to help blend. This time here, we're just building up the strength of the transition here, just by really kind of blending a really thin layer on top of a heavy layer. So very carefully here. Again, it is a very subtle effect. You really don't want too much, because then the whole thing just starts to feel really blue, or just starts to look just like a big gemstone, and we're really not looking for that. We're looking just to create the hint that there is a transparency there, and so the effect is quite subtle. And here again, I'm just putting the blends just a little further up the helmet as well. Again, keeping it all very subtle. The camera doesn't quite pick it all up, but there is quite a bit of color transfer in the edges of that visor. And now for the stark highlight in through the top center of the helmet. Again, we just lay some Kaldor blue down, and then really quickly here we just take some Abaddon Black and then begin blending it in, leaving a very sharp line of Kaldor blue in through the middle, that central area of the visor. Basically, it's just the strongest amount of color. We can take it all the way down to almost that black and have it all blended through, but I left it really stark just so that it's a little easier to see. And you can see again, the color transition is quite subtle, but that's really what you want. You want to have that glass to feel like it's really still quite dark, but there is the hint that there's light traveling through it, and that's why the highlights and the color transitions are quite subtle. That's really actually helps with the effect, leaving it quite subtle. Next, we're going to take some Kaldor Sky with a little bit of White Scar. We're going to mix these together in a 1-to-1 fashion. So just really quickly here, we'll just slap a little bit onto our palette. Give it a good thorough mixing. I'm going to take a little bit of medium here and our detail brush, and fairly heavy load on the brush, but we're mixing it into quite a bit of the mixture just to help with the flow, get it thinned down nicely so that it's much more manageable and flows out of the brush in a much more controlled fashion, rather than just thinning with water, and you can end up just kind of puddling up and being a big mess. And then very quickly here, I'm just creating a very stark highlight, kind of where I'm imagining, you would see that reflection. And then really quickly here, I'm just throwing in another one, kind of like, they're almost like little teardrop shapes I've put down there. one kind of pointing upwards and the other one kind of pointing downwards, but that one pointing downwards is a lot smaller, and it's just representing multiple light sources, or there's multiple reflections coming off different sources. And really that's just all it's there. You could leave it as one and, you know, move on, as we are here with the white scar. And here we're just quickly just throwing a tiny little dot right in through the center of that, just to make it a little bit brighter. You could also do that little kind of star effect where, you know, it looks like the light is glinting off of it. You could also do that as well. But that's it. It's as easy as that to create that soft glow, kind of a hint of a transition. But don't be afraid to give it a try. And thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you found it useful and informative. For the next quick tip video, leave a comment below or question as to what you'd like to see answered in the quick tip series. I do post these videos on a daily basis into MiniWarGaming's vault, as well as other painting tutorials, terrain tutorials. Click the link below to start your 7-day trial of MiniWarGaming's vault, where you'll gain access to all sorts of videos, as well as quick tips, terrain and battle reports, and other random assorted funness. And so thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.